The Galactic Challenge. The Nexus Council chamber buzzed with a mixture of anticipation and derision. Holographic displays flickered, showcasing representatives from 17 advanced galactic civilizations, each more technologically sophisticated than the last. And then there was humanity, the newest, most unpredictable species ever admitted to the Interstellar Cooperative. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood alone, representing Earth, her posture a blend of confidence and quiet determination. Around her, the alien diplomats whispered and occasionally chuckled, their translators barely concealing their mockery. Humans, muttered Ambassador Krellax, a towering crystalline being from the Prism Collective, always so enthusiastic. But enthusiasm doesn't replace millennia of evolutionary advancement. Elena's dark eyes scanned the chamber. She knew the statistics. Humanity had been part of the galactic community for less than a century, while some of these civilizations had been exploring stars when Earth's earliest humans were learning to make fire. Yet, she also knew something they didn't: human potential was limitless. The Nexus Challenge was more than just a competition. It was a proving ground, a test of species' capabilities to adapt, innovate, and survive in the most extreme conditions imaginable. This year's challenge would push the boundaries of technological and biological adaptation, set in the treacherous quantum drift, a region of space so volatile that most advanced civilizations considered it impossible to traverse. The challenge, announced the Nexus Arbiter, a being of pure energy that shifted between multiple dimensional states, will test your species' capacity for survival, innovation, and strategic thinking. You will navigate the quantum drift, locate the resonance beacon, and return with critical data about quantum entanglement's practical applications. The requirements were complex. Participants needed to survive extreme quantum fluctuations, maintain technological and biological integrity, collect specific quantum data, return within a 72-hour window. Most alien species had sophisticated quantum shields, advanced AI systems, and generations of specialized training. Humanity's resources seemed laughably primitive in comparison. What the other species didn't know was that Elena had spent the last 5 years preparing specifically for this moment. Her background was unique, a quantum physicist with a dual specialization in evolutionary biology and computational systems. Where others saw limitations, she saw opportunities. Her team was equally unconventional. Dr. Marcus Chen, a brilliant systems engineer who had revolutionized adaptive computing. Dr. Aisha Okonkwo, a xenobiologist who understood biological adaptation better than most. And Commander Jack Harper, a veteran space explorer with an intuitive understanding of risk and navigation. They called themselves the Quantum Pioneers, a name that drew more snickers than respect from the galactic community. The human team looks quaint, commented a serpentine diplomat from the Nexus Council. Their ship appears to be a retrofitted research vessel. Hardly competition-grade equipment. What they didn't see was the revolutionary quantum adaptive hull Elena's team had developed. Unlike traditional shields that blocked quantum variations, their system would absorb and redirect quantum energy, effectively dancing with the most unpredictable space in the known universe. The preliminary briefing concluded with most alien representatives betting against humanity. Betting platforms across multiple star systems were offering astronomical odds against a human victory. Elena smiled. Humanity had always been at its best when no one believed in them. "We're ready," she said simply, her voice carrying a quiet certainty that momentarily silenced the chamber. The quantum drift awaited, a challenge that would either prove humanity's worth or expose their limitations. And Dr. Elena Rodriguez was determined to show the galaxy that humans were far more than just another young species. Little did the other civilizations know, this was more than a competition. This was humanity's moment to redefine its place in the cosmic hierarchy. Preparation and doubt. The Quantum Pioneers research facility hummed with an intensity that matched the team's determination. Located in the remote Atacama Desert, the facility was a testament to human ingenuity, a perfect blend of cutting-edge technology and adaptive design. Dr. Marcus Chen stood before a holographic display, his fingers dancing across quantum simulation models. The problem isn't just surviving the quantum drift, he explained to Elena, it's understanding its fundamental chaos. Commander Jack Harper leaned against a reinforced glass wall, his weathered face reflecting years of space exploration. Most species try to fight the chaos, he interjected. We're going to ride it. Their approach was radically different from traditional quantum navigation. While most advanced civilizations developed increasingly complex shields and predictive algorithms, the quantum pioneers were taking a biomimetic approach, studying and mimicking natural systems that thrived in unpredictable environments. Dr. Aisha Okonkwo entered the lab, her arms laden with data tablets. I've been studying extremophile organisms from Earth, she announced. There's a microorganism in the deep-sea thermal vents that literally thrives in conditions that would destroy most life forms. Its cellular structure is a marvel of adaptive resilience. Elena's eyes lit up. Biomimicry, she said, not just as a design principle, but as a survival strategy. The team had developed a revolutionary quantum adaptive hull that wasn't just a protective barrier, but a living, responsive system. Inspired by the neural networks of octopuses, the ship's exterior could change its molecular structure in real time, absorbing and redistributing quantum energy instead of trying to block it. Their ship, christened the Horizon Dancer, looked deceptively simple. To alien observers, it appeared almost primitive, a sleek, somewhat plain vessel without the ornate designs and visible technological flourishes of other galactic ships. But beneath its unassuming exterior lay a complexity that would challenge everything the galaxy thought it knew about spaceship design. The other species are preparing with massive computational arrays, Marcus explained, pulling up comparative data. Quintillions of calculations per second, predictive models that map potential quantum variations years in advance. We're doing something different. Their approach was more organic, more intuitive. Instead of trying to predict every possible quantum variation, they were creating a system that could adapt in real time, learning and responding faster than any pre-programmed algorithm. Commander Harper's extensive experience in high-risk space exploration played a crucial role. He had survived missions that would have killed most pilots, not through superhuman technology, but through an almost instinctive understanding of space's unpredictable nature. Quantum mechanics isn't just about mathematics, he often told the team. It's about understanding uncertainty as an opportunity, not a threat. The team worked tirelessly, their preparation drawing both curiosity and ridicule from the galactic community. Betting platforms continued to offer astronomical odds against their success. Alien diplomats discussed their preparation with barely concealed condescension. But within their facility, something extraordinary was taking shape. It wasn't just a ship or a mission. It was a fundamental reimagining of how a species could interact with the most challenging environments in the universe. We're not just preparing for a challenge, Elena told her team during one late-night strategy session. We're proving a point about human potential. Every civilization here sees us as newcomers, as an inexperienced species. But we've survived on a planet that throws everything at us: climate changes, natural disasters, our own self-destructive tendencies. And yet, we adapt. We survive. We thrive. Her words resonated with a deep truth. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to transform challenges into opportunities, to see beyond immediate limitations. As the launch date approached, doubt began to creep in. Not the paralyzing fear of failure, but the sharp, productive uncertainty that drove human innovation. Each team member knew the stakes. This wasn't just about winning a galactic challenge. This was about reshaping the galaxy's perception of humanity. The Horizon Dancer awaited, a testament to human creativity, unassuming, adaptive, ready to dance with the most chaotic quantum environment ever encountered. The quantum drift was calling. And humanity was ready to answer. The crucible of challenges. The launch platform vibrated with suppressed energy as the Horizon Dancer prepared for its quantum leap. Surrounding observation decks were packed with representatives from across the galaxy, most expecting nothing more than another spectacular human failure. Quantum entry sequence initiating, Marcus Chen announced, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. The ship's biomimetic hull shimmered, not with the solid metallic gleam of traditional spacecraft, but with an almost liquid, adaptive quality that seemed to breathe with potential. Commander Jack Harper gripped the navigation controls, his veteran instincts heightened. Years of high-risk missions had taught him that survival wasn't about perfection, but about adaptability. Dr. Elena Rodriguez monitored the quantum resonance systems, her eyes intense with concentration. "Remember," she murmured to her team, "we're not fighting the quantum drift. We're communicating with it." The first moments of entry were critical. Most previous attempts by other species had ended in catastrophic failure, ships torn apart by quantum fluctuations, crews scattered across impossible dimensional spaces. The Horizon Dancer approached the drift zone differently, its adaptive hull already beginning to pulse and shift in anticipation. "Quantum signature matching," Aisha called out, her voice steady. "Hull integrity at 100%. Adaptive systems online." The moment they crossed the threshold was nothing like anyone expected. Instead of violent turbulence, the ship seemed to flow. Where other vessels would have been ripped apart, the Horizon Dancer moved like a living entity, its molecular structure constantly realigning with the quantum currents. "Incredible," Marcus whispered, watching the real-time data. "We're not just surviving. We're actually extracting energy from the quantum fluctuations." The first major challenge came quickly. A massive quantum storm materialized, a swirling maelstrom of impossible geometries and shifting probabilities that would have obliterated any conventional spacecraft. Most species approached such phenomena with rigid defensive systems. The Horizon Dancer did something entirely different. "Biomimetic resonance at 78%, Elena called out. The ship's hull began to change, its surface taking on properties that mimicked the most adaptable organisms from Earth's most extreme environments. It wasn't blocking the quantum storm, it was becoming part of it. Commander Harper's piloting was nothing short of revolutionary. Where traditional navigation relied on precise calculations, he was treating the ship like a living organism, feeling the quantum currents, anticipating their shifts with an almost intuitive grace. "We're collecting data that no one has ever captured," Aisha reported, her voice tinged with excitement. Quantum information was flowing into their systems, not through brute force computing, but through an adaptive, almost organic interface. The alien observation teams were stunned. Their sophisticated monitoring systems showed something unprecedented, a human vessel not just surviving the quantum drift, but seemingly thriving within it. "This is impossible," muttered a crystalline diplomat, his fractal body shifting with agitation. "No species can navigate quantum instability with such fluidity." But the Horizon Dancer continued its journey, each moment challenging everything the galactic community thought they knew about space navigation, quantum mechanics, and human potential. The first critical checkpoint approached, a region so dense with quantum variations that it had been the graveyard of countless advanced expeditions. Where other ships would have deployed massive energy shields, the Horizon Dancer did something entirely unexpected. "Adaptive camouflage engaging," Marcus announced. The ship's hull began to shift, not just in color or texture, but in its fundamental quantum signature. They weren't going to fight the impossible, they were going to become indistinguishable from it. Elena caught Commander Harper's eye. They shared a moment of understanding. This was more than a mission. This was a statement about human innovation, about seeing challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for transformation. The quantum drift roared around them, a maelstrom of impossible energies. And at its heart, the Horizon Dancer danced, fluid, adaptive, alive. They were rewriting the rules of exploration, one quantum moment at a time. Turning the tide. 48 hours into the mission, the Horizon Dancer had become a legend. Quantum data streams poured into their systems, revealing patterns that no other civilization had ever glimpsed. But the real challenge was just beginning. Resonance beacon approaching, Dr. Aisha Okonkwo announced, her voice cutting through the ship's ambient quantum hum. But something's different. The beacon wasn't just a simple navigation point. It was a quantum nexus, a convergence of multiple probability streams that had defied every known law of physics. Most expedition teams would have approached with caution, deploying extensive scanning protocols. The quantum pioneers had a different strategy. Commander Jack Harper's hands moved with a musician's grace across the adaptive controls. "We're not going to observe," he said, a rare smile crossing his weathered face. "We're going to interact." Dr. Elena Rodriguez had been studying the quantum data, her mind working faster than the ship's most advanced computational systems. It's not just a beacon, she realized. It's a quantum gateway, a living intersection of multiple realities. Marcus Chen's fingers flew across the holographic interfaces. Conventional approach would be suicide. We need to become the beacon, Elena finished his thought. The ship's biomimetic hull began to transform. Where other vessels would have deployed defensive shields, the Horizon Dancer started to resonate. Its molecular structure began to align with the quantum nexus, not as an intruder, but as a participant. Alien observation teams watched in stunned silence. The Horizon Dancer wasn't just navigating the quantum drift, it was communicating with it. Quantum synchronization at 62%, Marcus called out, his voice a mixture of scientific precision and barely contained excitement. "We're collecting data that will rewrite fundamental understanding of quantum mechanics." The Nexus began to respond. Waves of impossible information cascaded through the ship, not as destructive energy, but as a complex, living dialogue. The quantum pioneers weren't just explorers. They were translators of a cosmic language that no other species had even conceived of understanding. Commander Harper's piloting became something beyond skill. It was an intuitive dance, reading the quantum currents as a sailor might read ocean waves. Each movement was a conversation, each adjustment a response to the Nexus's unspoken queries. The other expeditions, Aisha observed, reviewing the comparative data, they treated the quantum drift as an obstacle. "We're treating it as a living system." Suddenly, the ship encountered its most significant challenge. A quantum singularity erupted, a point where normal physics completely broke down. Every other expedition would have attempted to avoid or resist it. The Horizon Dancer did something entirely unexpected. "Full adaptive resonance," Elena commanded. The ship's hull became translucent, then transparent, then something beyond description. It wasn't just absorbing the quantum singularity, it was integrating with it. Probability streams that would have torn apart any other vessel became pathways of information. "We're collecting more than data," Marcus said in awe. "We're establishing a quantum dialogue." The Galactic observation teams were speechless. The Horizon Dancer wasn't just surviving the most impossible region of space, it was thriving, learning, expanding the very definition of exploration. Commander Harper's voice was calm, almost meditative. "Humanity's always been about pushing boundaries," he said. "Not through force, but through understanding." As they emerged from the most critical phase of their journey, the quantum pioneers had done more than complete a mission. They had fundamentally challenged every preconception about human capabilities, about the nature of exploration, about the very fabric of reality itself. The resonance beacon pulsed, not as a destination, but as a beginning. And the Horizon Dancer continued its impossible dance through the quantum unknown. Humanity's triumph. The return of the Horizon Dancer was nothing short of a cosmic revelation. As the ship emerged from the quantum drift, the Galactic observation platform fell into a stunned silence. What had been expected to be another human failure had transformed into the most significant scientific breakthrough in generations. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her team surrounding her, each member looking both exhausted and exhilarated. The ship's biomimetic hull still shimmered with residual quantum energy, a living testament to their incredible journey. Data transmission complete, Marcus Chen announced, his voice trembling with excitement. We've collected more quantum information in 72 hours than all previous expeditions combined. The Nexus Council's communication channels erupted with a mixture of disbelief, anger, and grudging respect. Representatives from the most advanced civilizations struggled to process what they had witnessed. The Horizon Dancer hadn't just survived the quantum drift, it had engaged with it in a way no one thought possible. Commander Jack Harper reviewed the mission logs, a subtle smile playing on his lips. We didn't just explore, he said to his team. We translated. The quantum data they had collected was revolutionary. It wasn't just scientific information, it was a new language of understanding. The resonance beacon had revealed quantum pathways that could potentially revolutionize faster-than-light travel, energy production, and our understanding of reality itself. Look at this, Dr. Aisha Okonkwo said, pulling up holographic displays that seemed to dance with living information. These quantum signatures, they're not just data points. They're more like conversations. The implications were staggering. Where other species saw the quantum drift as an impossible barrier, the quantum pioneers had seen an opportunity for communication, for understanding. As the Horizon Dancer docked, the typical post-mission protocols were abandoned. Instead of the expected quarantine and extensive debriefing, something unprecedented happened. The Nexus Council requested an immediate audience. The chamber was filled with representatives from civilizations that had existed for millennia, crystalline beings, energy constructs, silicon-based life forms that had long looked down on humanity as a young, reckless species. Now, they looked different. Uncertain. Intrigued. Your mission, the Nexus Arbiter, a being of pure energy that typically remained distant and inscrutable, spoke directly to Elena, has challenged everything we understand about quantum exploration. Elena stood tall, representing not just her team, but all of humanity. We didn't set out to challenge, she responded. We set out to understand. The quantum data they had collected was more than just scientific information. It was a bridge, a new way of perceiving the universe that transcended traditional technological approaches. The Horizon Dancer hadn't conquered the quantum drift. It had learned to communicate with it. Marcus Chen's analysis revealed something even more profound. The quantum pathways they had discovered could potentially solve energy crises, revolutionize space travel, and provide insights into the fundamental nature of reality itself. But more than that, it was a testament to human potential, the ability to see beyond established boundaries, to approach the unknown not with fear, but with curiosity and adaptability. Humanity has always been about pushing boundaries, Commander Harper said during the debriefing. Not through force, but through understanding. Not by conquering, but by communicating. The betting platforms that had offered astronomical odds against their success now scrambled to recalculate. Alien diplomats who had mocked humanity now spoke in hushed, respectful tones. But for the quantum pioneers, the real victory wasn't in the accolades or the scientific breakthrough. It was in proving something fundamental about their species, that human potential was limited only by imagination and the willingness to approach challenges with an open mind. As the Horizon Dancers team celebrated their return, they knew they had done more than complete a mission. They had rewritten the galaxy's understanding of what was possible. Humanity had arrived. Not with weapons or technological superiority, but with an unprecedented ability to adapt, to understand, to communicate.